Bienvenue à Coyoacan.
Bienvenue.
That's what you're getting. Okay.
We're in Coyoacan, and this guy here said bienvenue.
Bienvenue?
It was weird. Anyway.
Bienvenido.
So we have the.
Welcome to Coyoacan. This is pretty much the centerpiece here. It's just two coyotes, as you can see, and normally this is a fountain going off, but anyways, it's not, as you can see. The reason is this entire place here used to be extremely populated with coyotes before, well, all the buildings. Behind me here is the church. Which church is this?
I forgot, but we can read.
We'll find out.
San Juan Bautista.
This is your language.
It's a parroquia San Juan Bautista. That's the name.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to say that.
Yeah, we just walking there. And there's like homeless people in front of the door, so we need to film because of that.
What? You can talk about it. So we didn't really want to talk inside because that's kind of disrespectful, and we also don't want to record in front of the front door because there's a couple of homeless people that are there. We're trying to keep that away, so we're actually located a little bit off to the side of that. But yeah, and a lot of the churches are like that, where they have a lot of gold and extreme ornamentation inside. But anything else? You gonna try to say the name again?
Parroquia San Juan Bautista.
Patrona Juanatista.
That's it.
One of the main marketplaces that we have here in Coyoacan, which is called, let's see, Mercado Mexicano. That's a terrible pronunciation. Essentially, it's a bunch of little stores owned by different Mexican people that are selling their own homemade goods and a little extra stuff. Across from that, we have one of the main little plazas here. That is actually a beautiful plaza with a little gazebo in the middle, but I'm going to take you into the marketplace here so that you can see kind of how much is actually in there. Lo siento. Inside of it, like right here is the very beginning of it. There's 2 floors, as you can see, and the stairs are located on the side here. But there's 2 full floors, and it's actually pretty deep there. There's a real main store called Born over on here to the right. It's to my right, but as you come in, it's on the left. But so as you can see, it's made up of a lot of these little rows, and then a couple different places over here. gonna try to respect. Some people have no photographing, no videoing next to their stands, and each of these stands is owned by an individual person. So we're gonna try to respect that. But behind me here, hold on one second. All these with the tents and curtains up are actually closed. But behind me here, you can see kind of the layout of what it is a bunch of people, just a lot of different homemade goods that are just hanging up, and you can kind of it's so many different things. It could be, there's soaps, there's glass pieces, there's little figures, there's clothing, there's shoes, socks, everything. So as we're walking through, you're gonna see on my left there's a bunch of like wallets, for instance. We're gonna pass jewelry, shoes. There's a lot of jewelry in here, but everything tends to be a lot cheaper than the United States. And coming up here, you can see that all of these different types of clothing, different types of just beautiful dream weavers and things and figurines and everything that can be found in here. This is a great place if you're going to try to get like homemade goods, just different little knickknacks, gifts for people back home. This is a great place for that because everything tends to be a little bit cheaper than where you would normally find it in a normal store. Stuff like that, and you can always kind of barter a little bit here. Now, one very important thing to note here is that behind me here is the bathroom, and in Mexico, any public bathroom is not free like it is in the United States. So this is actually 5 pesos just to go in there and use the bathroom, and probably just to let you know, there's probably not a toilet seat, so you're probably gonna be holding yourself over that. It's just the way it is here in a different country. So here I'm gonna hold it at a little different angle, but behind me you can see a lot of wooden figures that are carved out, a lot of heads, masks, stuff like that. And it's not terribly big in here, but there's a huge selection. I highly suggest walking around this area. This is just part of Coyoacan, and rather than doing most of it, this is just part of Coyoacan, and you can already see how big this part is. It's a huge tourist destination, so like you don't get ripped off and stuff like that. But it's just, you can see the amount of stuff that's actually in this area. So now we're back outside. That was most of the first floor, excluding the parts where people don't want you to video or take pictures of the merchandise. Because, like I said, a lot of it's actually original. So they don't want copying. They don't want things such as that to take away from their business. So now we're gonna take you upstairs. As you can see, I'm kind of in a time. This is a Monday, so Monday around like 11 o'clock, and a lot of people don't get here till after 12, and also a lot of these stores only run on the weekends. So as you can see, I'm on the second floor, but a lot of these businesses are actually closed at this time, and it's because they can't have as much stuff. They don't have as many people that are here. Like, your main tourist sections are actually going to be on the weekends, and a lot of them tend to be closed. As you can see, we're going to take a look down this hallway here behind me, and so every tarp that you see, they completely wrap their build, like they completely wrap them in tarps and then secure them down with whenever they're actually closed. So every tarp you see is just another closed business, but there's so many opportunities here, especially on like a Saturday. And if you do come on a Sunday, you're gonna have to wait till after 12 o'clock, because this region tends to be very religious. I mean, that's just how it is. Like, the whole Mexico in general is kind of more religious, I would say, in the sense that they do actually go to Catholic Church, even though it's not a requirement. But as you can see up here, the second floor is very much just full of artwork, I would say, more artwork than anything, and that's located more on the right side as you come up. But it's also got a completely different feel as you move left, and that's what I'm doing right now. As you can see behind me, there's more places for smoking, there's more piercings, there's more tattoo artists, there's more, so it's a lot of different artwork, but it's different types, I would say. There's a lot of like piercings, a lot of tattoo work, which is still artistry, I would say. As you can see behind me. And then we're gonna go through another section of more like closed off area. Hey, baby. Say hey.
Hey. Without you, I got this for $100, and usually.
$100?
Yeah, and usually.
You got ripped off of $100.
Yeah, because usually it's like 200
Pesos or dollars?
pesos.
Oh, okay. Just because I'm white, I tend to get ripped off. So keep that in. She speaks Spanish and obvious is Latina, so she tends to get things a little cheaper than I do, just because they know I'm a tourist. They know they can kind of rip me off a little bit. So knowing the prices of comparing throughout the shop is extremely important, I would say, whenever you're here, just because it allows you to, and I would say, explore the whole thing before you buy anything. That way you kind of, and cuantos cuestos, that's all it takes. How much is it? Like, how much does this cost? How much is and ask. Don't be afraid to ask. It's not hard. It's just and if it seems a little overpriced, it probably is. Things are typically a little cheaper. She got a whole whatever that was for 100 pesos. So it's not terribly much. And that's also why she tended to that's also why she didn't want to walk around with me. I'm here doing this by myself because she didn't want to walk around with me because she wanted to get things cheaper, but also the whole people don't want you to video their shops. And I've only seen honestly 3 signs, and it's individual shops that say that. It's not a collective as in this whole area you can't video. It's just she was a little nervous about it, and I was like, I mean, I can just claim I don't speak Spanish and avoid that whole problem. So yeah. I just wanted to take a second to show you what I've got. I just completely got this in Spanish, but he had one of those pictures, one of those things where it's don't take photographs, don't take photographs, don't take videos, and that's why I wanted to respect that, because this guy he completely paints all of his stuff with using coffee paint, which is kind of neat, and I'll just show you that real quick. This is what I got. It's actually a painting of Mexico City's street. I forgot exactly what he said what it was, but I just think it's absolutely beautiful. He completely painted this entire thing with coffee, and I only got it for 200 pesos, so 200, and it comes out to approximately $10 for a completely hand-drawn, like hand-painted picture, which is just absolutely beautiful. I got one last year, which was a tiny one, so I wanted to get a bigger one this year, and I didn't want to pay the 400 pesos for the bigger one that he had. And there's also ones with color, but I personally like the ones that are just different shadings of coffee. So I got that for 200 pesos, but it comes out, like I said, only $10, which is not much at all for some artwork that's done completely by hand and not a copy of a photograph or anything. Like I said, I got one last year and I just thought it was absolutely beautiful, and I thought I wanted to get a bigger one this year, and 200 is nothing for that. So if you ever come in this area, he's right on the right side, second row from the inn, 2 things up on the right. And just an absolutely phenomenal painter. There's so much to choose from. He gave me so much of a selection to pull it out. Absolutely nice. Speaks a little bit of English, but for the most part, just used Spanish. I asked him how much it was, and he told me. Just extremely nice to me. So I would highly suggest checking out that painter. No means is my Spanish actually any good, I would say, at this point. I'm not very good at the conversations. I can understand what's being said. I have a hard time responding at this point, but it doesn't take much to actually understand the number system that ends up happening with the money, because the numbers end up being so much larger than anything else that you actually spend in the United States. Like you'll pay $20 for something. And that's a decent amount that you're paying for something, or you'll pay upwards of 100. But that's a lot. That tends to be a lot of money is when you pay $100 for something. So here, though, it's completely normal whenever you pay for something, and it ends up being about 100 pesos, 200 pesos. Because 100 pesos, give or take, is about $5. I mean, the rough estimate is about 20 pesos to $1, and that's just the quick math. It's actually around about, I believe 19 is the correct, somewhere in that region, but quick math wise, just divide it by 20 and that's how much you're paying in dollars. So something that's 10 pesos is really, it's only gonna be 50 cents. It's nothing for a lot of the stuff that's here. And you can, like I said, you can get extremely beautiful artwork and a lot of people invest in that cultural aspect of it. It's just absolutely beautiful. Take a moment to really invest in looking at the art here, and it's just so much different than getting something from IKEA that's just kind of machine pressed. And you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for it like you do in the United States. It's just, you can get original artwork for absolutely beautiful artwork for a fraction of the cost. And then you tend to be, then you're supporting the local artists that are actually here too. That essentially concludes the tour of this marketplace here in Coyoacan. And as you can see, there's just so much of a selection that you can choose from. And I'm actually getting into a little bit of a sunny area here, but it's just, there's so much that you can really look and appreciate here. That everything is, a lot of the things here are handmade. They're just a lot of passion and creativity put into a lot of this stuff that you can really enjoy walking around this place. And granted, it gets a little hot because there's not really any type of air conditioning anywhere here, but you learn to appreciate the simplicity of these aspects that are here. So as you can see, this is a very just beautiful place. It's actually 1:45, and it's the time that I'm supposed to be meeting Kimberly back here at the, I'm gonna try to show you the best I can here, but it's, well, hold on a second. I think it's upside down. Hold on one second. So here's like it's the punto de reunion, which is the point of reunion or point of meeting, I would say in English. But it's this is where I'm supposed to be meeting Kimberly at 1:45. It's currently 1:47, so I'm thinking she's getting a little carried away in the marketplace behind me. She wanted to ditch me and walk around by herself. I think I caught a glimpse of her, but she's coming in a little late. Let's see if we can go find her. Never mind, I just saw her, but she's actually going to the bathroom behind me. So there's a little 5 pesos out the pocket just to use. And they only give you like a sliver of toilet paper. There is no toilet paper inside there. So they just give you a little bit of toilet paper for 5 pesos. And if you want more, you can ask, but you're gonna have to go out to ask. There's something like there's a bathroom attendant, but you can actually, typically in most places you kind of tip them. You don't have to, it's not necessary, but it's more customary to give them about 10 pesos or slightly more than that. And it's the same for a couple different places that you tip them and stuff like that. But if there's ever an attendant anywhere, it's customary to tip them. In most places that you see them, it's in a bathroom, or you see them in a bathroom, or you see them at the grocery stores where they bag. It's a lot of older people that are bagging the groceries or bagging whatever you bought, and they make most of their money off of the tips. So it's customary to give them about 20 pesos, I would say. So she came out of the bathroom, but then decided she was not done shopping, so she actually was just walking around more. So I'm actually gonna go find her real quick. Oh, now you're ready?
I was looking for something that old in my
What were you trying to get?
bag, a purse, a bag, and mugs.
And what?
Mugs.
Moccasins? Like the little shoes?
Well, that too. But there's
Can you guess what I got?
What is that? You went to the upstairs?
Yeah, I went to the painter that we went to last year.
I was about to tell you, like, oh, I like it.
I got like a bigger one this year.
I love it.
Instead of a tiny one. He was really nice. I had the whole conversation with him in Spanish. She's still trying to leave me. She didn't even meet me at 1:45 like she was supposed to. Hold on, because there's a section of no video. Okay, now we're back. So what all did you get? I showed the camera what I got. I said you did what I got. You can't?
Tell a bunch of stuff. But hey, I need to go somewhere.
I'm assuming they're bad things.
I need to.
You need to go somewhere.
Yeah, on the street.
So, she did pick up like a little flower though not from here, but on the way here on the subway, there was a lady sitting on the stairs selling flowers that she got for 25 pesos. Can we see that?
It's handmade, so.
It's completely handmade, which I'm surprised as to how they made that. But yeah, we'll show you what she got later. But this entire marketplace is just huge, and you can really experience a lot just by walking through it. She's so serious all the time. I had the entire conversation with him in Spanish though. He was talking to me and he asked me how I knew Spanish. He asked if I lived here or not, and I told him
I'm going to need to stop recording
I
so I can go.
I had told
I don't want that to get overpriced.
and I told him that I told him that I had a girlfriend that was Spanish or Mexican. Not Spanish, Mexican, my bad. But there's definitely a difference there.
Yep.